With the release of Brant and Changli's first rerun, it's obvious why this character ended up on your account. Because she's good at farming rocks. We're going to be exploring how much Brant is going to buff Changli compared to her previous best team for teams with Changli as a main DPS and as a support. The following tests will include all characters with high investment, at S0 and R1 with their signature weapon. To keep the test even, all the echoes have max rolls with attack percent and damage bonus in their preferred stat. With that being said, let's begin. The first and main team I wanted to test is going to be Shorekeeper, Zhezhi, and Changli versus Shorekeeper Brant and Changli. The Brant team ends up doing more damage, however, it's only going to be about a 3% gain in team damage. This is because Zhezhi also buffs skill damage, has access to Empyrean Anthem's attack buff, and Zhezhi's short field time, which allows for shorter rotations. However, what really makes the Brant team shine is the amount of utility you gain from this team. The most difficult content in the endgame is holograms, and as you can see here, with Changli's forte that gives 40% damage reduction while casting it, and Brant's shield, you could actually tank a Thundering Mephis 6 laser. Having a large shield, 2 healers, and a character that could do damage while your DPS is down is insanely good for holograms. This makes Brant one of the best characters for holograms. As for Shorekeeper versus Brant as a healer, the teams actually end up being competitive with one another, largely due to Sanhwa's very short field time and solid buffs that help Brant do competitive damage. This allows you to free up your Shorekeeper in content like Tower of Adversity, where you need 3 teams. As for Brant as a healer, Changli as support, and Zhongliao as a DPS, I was quite surprised with the results. Although Brant gives a ton of damage amplified at Changli, Shorekeeper's 10% attack buff from her 4 cost, Rejuvenating Glow's 15% attack buff, Shorekeeper's weapon's 14% attack buff, 12.5% crit rate, and 25 crit damage for the third character in the rotation make Shorekeeper an absolute menace when trying to compete for that healer slot. Brant still does pretty well here, all things considered, thanks to his high personal damage, and can still be a viable substitute. Just to showcase this team's viability, you can see that I was able to clear the newer tower with this team, although it does have some favorable buffs for fusion characters, and gives a 30% crit damage buff when you have a shield, being particularly biased for Brant. The floor does have increased electro resistance, so Zhongliao gets a bit of a nerf here to help even things out a little bit. In this run, I'm using Brant with Overture, Changli with R3 Emerald of Genesis, and Zhongliao with an R3 Stone Art, so if you have their signature weapons, this team could be much stronger. This was my first attempt, and I ended up with about 6 seconds left, but you can get a much quicker clear if you min-max your rotations and get luckier with your crits. This leaves me with my conclusion. If you want more comfort in holograms, a bit larger damage increase for Changli, future synergy with new fusion DPS characters, and in my opinion, the most fun healer in the game, picking up Brant for Changli is not currently necessary to make Changli viable. But he does offer a ton of role flexibility, being able to support, heal, and does pretty good damage. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe, as I will be making a pre-release guide for Cantarella soon. And thank you for watching.